Hi, I'm the Realtor Evan, and I'm coming to you for another week here in quarantine. And today we're going to talk about virtual showings. Last week we talked about different types of showings and what the buyer and the seller can do in order to prepare for the showings, however they may be. Today I want to discuss a little bit more about virtual showings, a topic we didn't discuss last time that sort of I wanted to focus in on its own, especially now during the whole coronavirus situation when actual physical showings are becoming less and less routine and common, and open houses are pretty much off the table, especially in California. So that's what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to take you through a little bit of what you can expect with a virtual showing, what it really is, how you can access these on your own, and different aspects about the MLS and related systems that bring virtual showings to you. So stick around. I hope you like what you see. If you do, as always, love that thumbs up if you like it. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, please go ahead and do so. So first, let's explain what a virtual showing is. A virtual showing is really nothing more than a bunch of pictures online that represent a property. This is already standard practice when it comes to uploading properties to the MLS. MLS stands for Multiple Listing Service. There is actually a different MLS for pretty much every area in the United States. And then you have other services like Zillow, Redfin, Trulia that aggregate the data from all of these different MLS sources and pull them in and offer them to the average consumer. You cannot get access to an MLS system without being a licensed realtor. And therefore, Zillow and Trulia and all these other systems popped up. Actually, it was Realtor.com that came up first to offer it to the consumers, and all of these other ones spiraled in afterwards, taking the sort of unique aspect of having access to the MLS away from realtors. So you as a consumer can now see pretty much everything that an agent sees on the MLS. There are some more details and some important pieces of information that we as agents get access to with the MLS that you cannot access on these third-party systems. And so today I want to walk you through some of these things and what it's like to be in an MLS system, as well as what the comparison and contrasting is between an MLS and a service like Redfin or Zillow, which are two of the more popular ones. So let's take a look at some of these systems today, and you can go through and see what we get and see how it differs from the other ones. So let's dive right in. We're not going to spend time talking about how to operate Zillow or Redfin or anything like that because you've probably done it before. I just want to focus on what's going to be seen that's really different on Zillow or Redfin than can be seen on the MLS or vice versa. So this is Zillow, probably the most popular or most widely known interface that allows consumers to look at MLS data. And if we take a look at, we search for a certain area, let's say we just look at the Pacific Palisades here in Los Angeles, and that'll bring us to a certain area here, and maybe we want to expand that actually a little bit. Los Angeles, just do Los Angeles as a whole, and we can see more listings coming in. Now I've already filtered it to 9 million. Maybe we can filter the cap, so we're only looking between 9 million and $10 million houses. And the way I know it's houses, it's because it's checked off. We can select anything that we want. Zillow usually remembers your presets. You can check for condos or apartments or townhomes and so on. You can put in the number of beds and baths you want and so on and so forth. But again, this is not a Zillow tutorial. So let's take a look. We have a few houses here. Let's take a look at this one. $9.9 million. And this is 6 beds, 7 baths, 6,800 square foot. So this is the headline information right here. This is the address. This is listed for sale. It mentions that. it shows you the Zestimate, which is Zillow's estimate for how much they think the property is worth. They're saying it's coming in at about 9.4 million, so a little less than the 9.9 that they are listed for and that they're asking. And we can see that you can contact the agent, take a tour, right? And here are all these pictures that are actually pulled in directly from the MLS listing. And more information below, again, all pulled in from the MLS. Views are from Zillow, how many views that has, how many saves it has on Zillow. But all of this information, a number of days, is obviously based on the listing. This information is posted by the agent. And then you have the agent name and the brokerage that they work with. Again, you can schedule an in-person tour, more facts and figures as we scroll down about the property, that it's a single family built in 1930s, 10 parking spaces, the lot size, so on and so forth. Then we scroll further and we see actual Zestimate data that's a little bit more expanded, and it goes back through a timeline to show you what the Zestimate was, has been, and perhaps what it's predicted to be. Also in comparison to the local area as well as the larger area that it sits in. And of course, we have some price and tax history, and you can see we're moving across the scroll bar here. So if we go back to home value, and now we go back to price and tax history, we have that. And you can see that it's been listed for sale and for rent and removed. It hasn't actually been sold, but a bunch of times it's been listed in 2019. All of this information is readily available on the MLS, and we'll show you that in a minute. Again, public tax history, you can find all of that information as well in the MLS. Estimated monthly cost, and how the breakdown would be as to what your mortgage payments would be, and so on and so forth. What the rent estimate would be, and some information about the neighborhood, and the walk score, transit score, and so on and so forth. Again, very useful information. This is essentially a virtual tour of the property. All of this pictures, all of this information. But the point here that I'm trying to make is that this all comes from the MLS. And while you all have access to it, even if we went to Redfin, same information here, right? So here's Redfin, same property, different layout, but it's the same pictures, same information. This tells you 6.5 baths as opposed to the 7 that Zillow was talking about. But again, they have their Redfin estimate, the number of days on Redfin, which is the number of days it's been listed. And it shows you here that it's going to have all of the same information, the neighborhood, similar homes that Zillow just had, because it's pulling it all from the MLS. Here's the same description. Here's the same agency agent. And it's telling you when the last time Redfin checked the MLS to get the update, and it tells you the source is the MLS, which is what we're going to look at in a minute, because that's the one that I subscribe to. And again, just going through all the data that there is here. I'm just going to scroll through it quickly, not to waste more time here, but they have the payment calculator, which is cool, and you can adjust it up or down, and it'll adjust accordingly. What your type of loan that you want to get, similar homes. Again, a whole bunch of property details. This is all pulled from the MLS. All this information is entered by an agent into the MLS listing, and it appears here on Redfin. Again, the same school information, giving you maybe a different breakdown. Perhaps you think that Redfin is a little bit more user-friendly. I certainly, that's my personal opinion as well, that Redfin is a little bit more user-friendly and geared towards the user experience. And we'll actually come to see that the MLS in a minute is not. So just keep that in mind. But, here's the walk score and the transit score. Again, same information. And what it takes to win an offer near Beverly Air, Beverly Crest, near Bel Air, Beverly Crest. So all this information here that they're trying to be helpful, and nearby sold homes. Now let's go over to the MLS. The MLS this one is the MLS. Now MLS is multiple listing service. The MLS is one of the MLSs that are out there, and this one in particular is for California, specifically LA is mostly what it focuses on. And each MLS covers a different region. Now, what's great about this MLS, I can't speak for everyone because I don't subscribe and I don't know them intimately as I do this one, but this one will allow you to come in here. You can go to themls.com and it'll actually take you to this page. And even without being an agent, you can actually look up the property. So this is the same property information that we were looking at. We just click on search, and now we can see already there's more information that we get on the MLS that you get on Redfin. So you get all of the same information on Redfin and Zillow, but here already there's more. What is more? It's telling us that this is not just listed for sale for 9.9 million, but also listed for a lease at $29,500. So if you rather lease it for $29,000 a month, then you can have this property too. And if you click into it again, we'll take a look here, but it gives you all of that same information that was pulled in from Redfin. Now here's all the remarks that are available to the non-agent, to the non-subscriber, and that's what Redfin pulls in. But it even gives you a little bit more information than Redfin and Zillow because it gives you the agent's phone number, their cell phone number, their office phone number, and perhaps, here, a link to their email. So you already get a little bit more information. It's certainly not as nice. It's certainly not as user-friendly, but it is there in one little page. You can print this out and very nice and easy to have. Now, let's say we wanted to look a little bit more for it. So we can search for this property on the MLS. This is after I've logged in, and I can now pull up this property here, and it'll pull up all the information for me as an agent. Now, again, this is that same sheet that we were looking at before, just that you would have access to, but it pulls in a little bit more information as well. The more information that it pulls in are agent remarks and showing remarks. Not that there's that many here, but as you can see up in the top right corner, we're looking at the agent detail full. What you guys are probably going to get access to is the client detail short report, and you'll see that these agent remarks go away. This is what is available to those third-party applications. So this is all the information that's on Zillow and Redfin, but if we look at the agent detail full, this is all of the information that is available with the listing itself. So here are all the features that agent has decided to list with this listing. And again, we scroll to the bottom and we get the agent's information. But all of this can be useful. And certainly if we are doing a search on the MLS, when we are filtering for all of these things, we have the ability to filter for all of those little details down here in all of these different boxes and all of these different pieces of information that we can filter for, look for keywords, so on and so forth. So we have the ability to filter a lot greater detail. We have the ability to look for coming soon. So agents that haven't actually listed a property yet, we can find them here in the MLS. They are not going to be available in Zillow and Redfin. Also, we can see and search for those that are active under contract or pending, those listings that are being held or expired, canceled, or withdrawn. So again, a lot greater detail here. Agents can also save searches and set them up so that they get sent to you, just like you can do on Zillow and Redfin. But as soon as they pop up here, you would know even before Zillow and Redfin, and that's one benefit too. Okay, so now you've seen how the MLS and actual MLS system works compared to how, Zillow or Redfin or the other third-party sites bring you listings. And it's certainly safe to say that you get a lot of the same data. Consumers are just as able to access these listings for the most part as agents are for the most part, but it doesn't lessen the value of having an agent. It's extremely important to have an agent by your side. And I don't say this just because I'm an agent, but because I've been through the experience before. And it's a lot like representing yourself when you have murder charges against you. You should bring a lawyer with you to court, even though you can stand up in court and defend yourself. They say only a fool represents themselves, right? Why? Because it's much better to have somebody who's been professionally trained, who knows the ins and outs of the systems, and can help you get to the best desired outcome that you hope to achieve. Same goes with real estate. Negotiating for yourself is a lot harder to do on either side of the table. Making sure to get, the highest sale price, or as a buyer, the lowest, buy price, is a lot harder to do by yourself when you have so much vested interest in the outcome. It's a lot better to have a third neutral party doing that for you. And certainly as a seller, you cannot post your own listing on the MLS. You need an agent to do that for you, even if it is going to cost you the 5, 6, 7%, whatever they may be charging you. I'm sure they're worth it, and they were also probably going to be able to, as averages do tell us, get you more for that property by listing it with them as an agent than you can get on your own, even if you take out the agent's fee. So keep that all in mind. Make sure you talk to an agent. It doesn't even cost you anything to talk to an agent up front. So talk to an agent. If you have any questions for me, you can shoot me an email at therealtorevan@gmail.com, as always, or comment below. I always love to get those likes, the thumbs up for YouTube, so it lets them know that you like this content. And please subscribe if you want to see more of it. I'm the Realtor Evan. Hope to see you next time.